Friends, I'm happy to be partnering with Sanctified Supply Company. They are the people who make all of those great Biblical Feast t-shirts that you often see me wearing, and several more of the shirts that I have. You can find the link to their website in the video description down below and check out all of the things that they make. And when you shop there, you can save 10% if you use my discount code Cornbread. Go check them out. Hello friends, welcome back to Cosmopolitan Cornbread. My name is Constance and I got something in the mail today. So sometime last week, I think it was, I was chatting with my friend Heather over at the Needy Homesteader, and she mentioned Superb's canning jars, and I was like, whoa, 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 what? I had no idea that Superb had started making canning jars. Now, I have been using their canning lids for quite a while now, and I have shared about their canning lids. They are my favorite canning lids at this point. They are super sturdy. When you are listening to something that, you know, you've just canned, you've pulled it out of the canner, and it's sitting on the counter cooling, and you hear that little sound, I call it the tink of success, when the jar lid seals and that metal lid compresses down, and you hear that sound. When you use the Superb lids, it is a significant sound. And when you break the seal to use something that you've canned, it's louder as well. There is no questioning that the jar lid is absolutely sealed. They're really sturdy. I love I love their canning lids. And I've had a link to their lids in my video descriptions for quite a while now. But like I said, I had no idea that they had started making jars. And so I went ahead and I ordered a couple cases. I ordered 2 cases of the quart jars, and I ordered 2 of the pint-sized jars. And these are regular mouth jars. And so I thought I would just go ahead and open up one of these cases here and show you guys the jars. Now, the Superb canning lids, they say right up here, seals up to 36 months, which is really good, because if you look at, say, the Ball canning lid box and the description on there, I think it says something like 18 months. So this one's already saying, you know, it's 36 months is what they say they're good for. And that has been my experience thus far using them. But like I said, we'll go ahead and open one of these up and see what they look like. So earlier today, I was working on doing a little bit of a kitchen project here. My lower cabinets have a tendency, especially the pots and pans cabinet, has a tendency to get a little disorganized, and it kind of drives me a little nuts. And so I installed the slide out rolling trays. And little Miss Bean was helping, of course.
Good job. You a big helper?
Alright. Alright, so here we can see right away there is a plastic tray here, and my understanding is this tray is for when you wash your lids, it's to allow them to dry. Let me pull that out and see this. So you wash them, you set it on here, and it lets your lids air dry, which is kind of cool. It's just plastic, nothing fancy. I don't know that it would be super durable, but you know, I think it's maybe a nice idea. At least it holds the jars stable for shipping and all of that. So here are the jars, and right away you can see there's no markings on these jars. They're just perfectly clear glass. They have kind of squarish shoulders on them, very straight sides, whereas ball canning jars have a slightly rounder shape to them. These are very straight-sided, got a slightly concave bottom there. And yeah, so there you go. This is the brand new Superb canning jars, and these again are the pint ones. So, but very nice. So I am looking forward to giving these a try. I will be using these tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but the day has kind of gotten away from me a little bit. But I'm going to be doing some canning. I'm going to be making some homemade cranberry sauce. And so I figure that'll be a good opportunity to use these brand new Superb canning jars for the very first time. And of course I will bring y'all into the kitchen so that you can make cranberry sauce with me and everything. But I'm going to show you real quick what I did earlier. I've got child safety latches on here. Alright, so this is the one that I installed over here. Now I haven't vacuumed yet, so I've got to come in here, and there's like sawdust down here where I was using the drill and everything. But this is my pull out. So this is where I've got all of my baking sheets, my cooling racks, and then I have a couple of really big lids that don't really fit anywhere else, but I can tuck them in here, and this kind of just holds them in place. These are for some really big pans, and over on the other side, which I'll show you here in a second, they were just too big to fit there. But because I don't have a shelf down in this cabinet here, it works just fine. So it's on rollers, and it just slides in and out and gives you easy access for everything that you need there. Alright, so over on this side, I've got the other ones that I installed. Now this is the first one I actually installed, and I was only going to use this one mainly to manage all of my lids, because I had another little rack in here that was just something that just sat there on the shelf basically and held them all, but it was a pain to get the lids in and out. They were always wanting to fall over, and so I decided to install one of these that just slides in and out to give me easy access to the lids. Now you can see I have a shelf up here, which is why I couldn't put my really big lids over on this side. But you know, they were able to fit over there with the baking sheets and all of that. So I put this one in. It only took maybe 5 minutes to install this. Super easy. And I decided that this was going to be so handy. I went ahead and I installed on this side the one that's more like just a tray. And so it slides everything out, and again, gives me easy access to everything that I have down in here. And you know, I'm not getting any younger. I'm not getting any younger, and so giving myself easy access to the lower cabinet and all of its contents, I figure that's totally worth it. But you know, this lets everything stay organized. It's all tidy. I can get what I need to, and then I can just slide that right back in and close the cabinet just like that. Alright, and then just one last thing that I wanted to share with y'all. So if you follow me on social media, or if you saw my community tab post, on the channel last night. I had a little bit of an accident yesterday afternoon. And it was one of those, I cannot believe I did this, but I did, moments. And yesterday afternoon, I was outside and it was pouring rain and I was trying to get things done. I was just busy as I usually am. And all of the cats were out here. We have 3 outdoor cats and we spoil them with all sorts of treats. We give them treats all the time. And they know it. And it was mid-afternoon, pouring rain, and they were sitting there staring at me like, Mom, are you going to give us some treats before you go into the house? Hello. And we had a great big bag of treats out there. And they were sitting on something, and I reached over to grab them, and when I did, I stepped forward and I did not notice that I had a garden hoe. And I don't even know what type of hoe this is. It's got the blade on one side and 2 prongs on the other. It's like for weeding and stuff like that. I did not notice that it was leaning up against the house because it had been really windy. We were having all these storms and everything, and so a whole bunch of leaves had blown up against the side of the house, and so the bottom of this garden hoe was completely hidden by the leaves. And I stepped forward, and as I stepped forward, like in my peripheral, I saw something flying towards me. And y'all, it was just like the Wile E. Coyote cartoons from when I was a kid. You step on the garden hoe or the rake or whatever, and the handle flies up and smacks you in the face. And just, I had, it was like this slow motion, split second kind of thing. And it came up and it slammed straight into my face. Caught the side of my nose, hit my eye, hit like my mouth and like all right in here. It hit so hard, it kind of like stunned me for a moment. I saw like a flash of white, but I think that's from where it hit my eye. I was shocked that, first of all, I was shocked that my nose didn't start bleeding. But I was very thankful that, number one, I didn't have my glasses on because I think it could have been way worse had I had my glasses on. I was thankful that it didn't go slightly, like maybe ½ inch to the left, or it would have been a direct shot and I'd have probably had a broken nose. But, you know, I fully expect to have a black eye. Now, it's only been about 24 hours since that happened. I did have several people comment in the social media post about me having a concussion from it. I don't think I could have a concussion. It didn't hit my head. It hit literally my face. Bruised and tender and all of that. It felt like I had an instant sinus infection on one side. But the swelling seems to be going down a bit. I was pretty swollen this morning. There is some discoloration beginning to show up. I do have a little bit of makeup on to kind of conceal it a little bit, but you may be able to notice there's some discoloration happening right here. I'm just hoping I don't have like a full-on rainbow black eye and everything later this week. But what can I say? I can't believe I did that, but it could have been a lot worse, and I'm thankful it's not. And bruises heal. And oh, that reminds me, hold on, let me go grab something. So now I am really big on herbs, medicinal herbs, having beneficial things that will help your body heal itself. And, you know, herbs are something that I've been using for going on 20 years or so. But one of the products that I keep in the house here is this ointment or salve. It's made by, hold on, let me turn this around for you. It is made by Christopher's. And this one in particular is the Complete Tissue and Bone Ointment or salve. And I purchased this last year when I had my accident that I just mentioned the other day, the one where I was kicked in the head by our mini mule, Amos down there. But, you know, this is what I used to put on my forehead to help it heal and everything. Now you can't use it on broken skin because of some of the herbs that are in there, like comfrey, but for bruises and bumps and things like that, this really helps speed up the healing. Now it's got all sorts of really good medicinal herbs in it, but this is a really good salve to use for things like that. And then there's also a capsule version that you would take internally to also help promote healing. Now the internal one does not contain comfrey because comfrey is, it's really not great to take internally. But between the internal capsule version and the salve that you can put on externally, these really do help. Quicken the healing process, and this is what I used last year, and of course last night I started using it as well. It's just something good to have in the house. So again, I will be doing homemade cranberry sauce tomorrow, and I will film that and take you through the process of making it and canning it and all of that. Y'all, if you think you don't like cranberry sauce and all you've ever had is the stuff out of a store-bought can, you need to try the homemade thing. It is not even the same animal. And there's so many people who say they hate cranberry sauce until they have the homemade. And then it's like, oh, it is amazing. And you will want to have it all the time. So that is it today, friends. Thank you for joining me here for a quick little introduction to the superb canning jars. My name is Constance from Cosmopolitan Cornbread, and I will talk to y'all next time.